Moving on to Derek Carr signing with the New Orleans Saints. I'm just going to be frank. I don't like this move for either side. I think that it is a head scratcher. Um, look at the Saints for a second, right? Do you think the Saints are going to be a competitive team in 2023? The answer is no. Um, they're in cap hell. Their roster is getting much older. Their um, their resources are depleting. They are supposed to have a top 10 pick, but they don't because of the trade they made with Philly. So they don't even have the assets to bolster up their team once again. So it's kind of a bad situation. I don't like their head coach. Their GM is meh. Um, literally just getting a tweet now from Ian Rappaport that the deal for Derek Carr is 4 years, $150 million, with $100 million guaranteed. Um, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to give a guy who really has never been a top 10 quarterback, never close to a top five. So I just don't know. I don't know what the Saints think they are. I think it would have been better if they just fully bought into the tank, understood that they're going to suck for a few years, but accumulate enough assets to be a contender moving forward, right? Which is what the Bears did. It's what the Lions have been doing. A lot of teams like that. So I have no idea what they're doing. And then if you're Derek Carr, um, obviously the money looked pretty good there. Maybe the Saints gave him more money than anybody else, but why would you go to the Saints? Your weapons are not good. Michael Thomas is probably not coming back to the Saints. Alvin Kamara might be going to prison. Your offensive line is getting older. They just lost Terran Armstead last year. Again, who's the offensive coordinator? Who's the head coach? To me, this is just a bad move. I don't understand it from Derek Carr's perspective. I don't understand it from the Saints' perspective. The only way I get it from the Saints' perspective is, all right, these guys are trying to save their jobs, so you have to have somebody play quarterback, right? And maybe they think Derek Carr can get them over the edge. And the only other saving grace here is that the division is pretty bad. So maybe they think, okay, we can win the division. All right, cool, you're going to win the division. What the fuck's going to happen in the wild card round? You think you're going to win a playoff game? No. God forbid you do win a playoff game. You think you're winning 2, 3, 4? No. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess the Saints had to do something. They couldn't roll another year with Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston. But to me, you just gotta kind of tear it down, and then be prepared to be really good in 3, 4 years. Um, I think the number one problem with rebuilding teams in the NFL is that they refuse to rebuild, and they're just stuck in mediocrity. And I feel like the Saints are going to be stuck in mediocrity for a while now. Um, I think the best thing a team can do is just understand, hey, we are not good. Our roster is not built well. Let's tear it down, and then let's go and just tank for a few years. Maybe not tank, but let's plan for the future. Because no team is going to tank on purpose necessarily, but let's plan for the future. Let's accumulate assets. Let's start looking at next year's draft class, um, type of thing. So, bad move for the Saints. I mean, Derek Carr, got your bag. Good for you, bro. But I don't know what this does necessarily for his career. I don't think he's going to have the opportunity to what is, in my opinion, the biggest flaw of his career is not win a playoff game or go substantially far in the season. I don't think he's going to have that opportunity in New Orleans. So that's a sad fact for him. But he got his money. The Saints at least now have somebody at quarterback. Don't get me wrong. Derek Carr is a significant upgrade from Jameis Winston or Andy Dalton. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm just saying he's not someone to be excited about, right? He's not somebody that's gonna vault the franchise into a new era. Um, every year with Derek Carr, you're gonna go somewhere in between 6-11 and like 9-8, and they're gonna be stuck in that middle ground for a while now. Even if they surprise people and go like 10-7, they're not gonna win a playoff game. They're just not talented enough. So, Saints fans, I'm sorry, you're gonna be stuck in mediocrity for a few more seasons. Derek Carr got his money, good for him, but I don't know what this means for the Saints. So I don't like the move for the Saints, but what are you going to do? I guess they were desperate and they're trying to save their jobs. But let me know what you guys think down below about Derek Carr going to the Saints, and how this kind of changes the quarterback market. I plan on making a video Wednesday about how this changes the quarterback market and everything like that. shaking up everything. So we'll get into that later. But until then, um, yeah.